I'm Professor Malcolm Potts in the School of Public Health at the University of California, Berkeley.
And I'm Alisha Graves, also at School of Public Health, UC Berkeley. And together we have started the OASIS Initiative, which stands for Organizing to Advance Solutions in the Sahel, a project of UC Berkeley and Venture Strategies for Health and Development.
Conflict in the Middle East is killing hundreds of thousands of people, and millions are being forced to migrate. There seems to be no end to the suffering. We are surprised when the Islamic State beheads prisoners or when Boko Haram kidnaps girls. But the question we ought to be asking is not why do wars break out, but why does peace break out? We are an unusually violent species. Along with chimpanzees and hyenas, we are unique in systematically killing other members of our own species. Sharks don't do this, tigers don't do this, but we do it. Throughout most of human history, men have banded together to kill their rivals and rape the women they capture. The Old Testament describes warfare in the way the Islamic State is currently carrying it out. In Deuteronomy, the Israelites were commanded, "When the Lord thy God has delivered into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the cities, you shall keep unto yourself." Women fight bravely to protect themselves and their children. Recently, women have proved how tough they can be in army training. But in the whole sweep of human history, there is not a single example of a situation where women have banded together spontaneously and gone out to kill their neighbors. In The Pill is Mightier than the Sword, we argue that there are achievable ways to make the world a more peaceful place. The key is to empower women and girls and give them the freedom to make choice about using their bodies and their own lives. Girls' education is probably the most leveraged thing that we can do to make a more peaceful world.
The default position throughout all of human history is a large family, but empowering women with the means and information to separate frequent sex from childbearing can reduce the birth rate with remarkable speed. When Iranian women were given these choices, the birth rate fell 10 times faster than it did when the US was going through the same demographic transition. Whatever happens to the present diplomatic efforts to prevent Iran building nuclear weapons, the fact that there are now more Iranian women than there are men in the universities is likely to make the nation increasingly peaceful. By contrast, Pakistan, where contraception remains beyond the reach of most women, and where there is already an atomic bomb, Pakistan could well become an increasingly unstable and dangerous actor on a global stage. Rapid population growth is associated with a youth bulge. Studies show that this renders a higher ratio of younger to older men, and that violence is more likely in that condition. The 9/11 Commission said that the high birth rates have produced, quote, "a large, steadily increasing population of young men without any reasonable expectation of suitable or steady employment, a sure prescription for social turbulence." So Richard Ottaway, chair of the UK Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee, concludes, "There is clear evidence that in many cases, high population growth in the developing world tends to correlate to political instability and the spread of radical extremist views. Again, it is only when women have correct information and access to family planning that fertility rates fall, and that the youth bulge gives ways to societies with more evenly distributed age groups. Although it may not seem this way, most of the world is at peace. Progress is occurring. Deaths from warfare in relation to the growing global population are a lot fewer than they were in centuries past, and this shift correlates with increases in women's autonomy. By ensuring that women have the freedom and resources to make informed decisions about their bodies and family size, we can expect to see that indeed the pill is mightier than the sword. Thanks.